Hello guys, welcome to the video. So I guess it's time to build the tower itself, and let's begin. To make it, we need a build button that would go to build manager, it would get selected build slot, and it would make tower on the top of that slot, then it would cancel the selection. So basically, now we just need a UI build button script. Before we make it, I suggest we go to UI build buttons and rename this one, because you can see this one is named as build buttons, and if I make UI build button, it's going to be very easy to confuse one with another. So I'm going to press Ctrl RR, make sure you check rename symbols file, it should be like that, and we're going to make it as UI build buttons holder. Let's press enter. Now it changed name here and here as well. Let me double check this in Unity because there might be some error. I had this before. If we select build buttons holder over here, it's fine. It has a script here. If you don't have a script here, just click this dot and choose build buttons holder. Perfect. Now let's go to script UI. Let's make UI build button. And over here, we want to have reference to the tower. So serialize field, private game object, tower to build. And then we need serialize field, private float, tower center Y. And I'm going to make it equals to 0.5 F by default, because I know what it's like for most towers. If we go back to Unity and take one of the towers, let's exit 2D mode and let's focus on Grid Builder. So if I go to prefabs, and if I take tower crossbow and place it on the top just like that, we can see it has Y position 0.49, which is basically 0.5. So it's fine for crossbow tower, and most of the tower is going to be like that, but it may be different for other towers. That's why I want to have a value that I can adjust. Let's go back to the scripts. Script UI build button. It's going to be tower center Y. Now we want to get access to the build manager because we want to have information about selected slot. So I'm going to do private build manager. And again, I'm expecting to have only one build manager in the game. That's why I can easily do find first object by type build manager. Then we want to make a method that we can assign to the button. Let's do public void build tower. Inside, we want to make build slot to use, and it's going to be equals to build manager get selected slot. Nice. Now rest of the things can be taken care of inside of this script. When we build tower, we want to take build manager and we want to cancel build action. We cannot do that because method is private, I guess. Let's go to build manager. Let's find cancel build action and let's make it public. Okay, gonna save it. Gonna go back, and over here we're gonna do cancel build action. So once we build the tower, we can cancel it, we can hide menu, and we can bring tile down. I want to do game object new tower equals to instantiate tower to build, and as a position we want to have default position of a tile we're going to use. So let's go to build slot all the way down. I'm gonna make a public vector 3 get build position. We're gonna pass float Y offset, and then we're gonna return default position, because it doesn't matter if we move tile and by how much we move tile. After we build the tower, this tile is supposed to go back to default position, and we want tower to be just above that, just above the tile. So I mean on the top of it. So we're gonna return default position plus new vector 3, 0 on the X, and on the Y we're gonna use Y offset. This is nice. So now we're gonna get default position plus the offset we need. And on a build button over here, we're gonna get slot to use, get build position, and as an offset we're gonna pass tower center Y. Very smart and easy way to do what we need to do. Then we're gonna type Quaternion identity over here, and that's it. It's supposed to work. There are some things that we need to do to improve it, but let's go and check this first. We're gonna go back to Unity, and as you know, we have only one tower at the moment, so I'm gonna make only one button functional. We're gonna go to, let's go to prefab actually. Let's go to prefab, UI, build button UI. Over here, we simply want to add UI build button. Now, if you select any of these objects, it's supposed to have UI build button on it. Perfect. And then again, we're going to make only this crossbow button functional. Pay attention to that. These buttons are not going to work. In fact, let's avoid mistakes in the future. Let's type if tower to build is equals to null, then debug log warning, you did not assign tower to this button. All right, just in case. Perfect. Let's go back. Let's go to prefab folder, and let's drag this tower crossbow into this field. I want to double check position of a tower crossbow. Let's go inside. This one has weird X and Z, so I'm gonna do 0, 0 here. I'm gonna click these to save it. Now this button's supposed to be functional. Let's go ahead and try this. It's supposed to work. Gonna select tile, I'm gonna select crossbow, and didn't work. Of course it didn't. I forgot to add event actually. Let's go to button component. Let's click on this plus over here. Let's drag build button and let's choose build tower. Okay, now we can try again. We're gonna select tile. We're gonna select tower, and boom, tower is there. Perfect. We can build a tower. Now, there are a couple of things we need to do. First of all, we can see movement of the tile when we click in the tower. It moves there, it's not really pretty. Also, we want to deduct resources when we make a tower. And there is also a couple of other adjustments that we want to do to make it better. So there are multiple things I tried to improve behavior of the tile when we build in a tower. I mean, I tried to move tower together with the tile. I tried to move it real fast. I tried to make it slow, but the best option was actually to bring tile back to default position immediately and place tower on the top of that. So this is what I want to do. And it's going to be really easy to do. Let's go to the build slot. I'm gonna do close all but this because we have too many scripts open. And over here, we want to have a method that would immediately place tower on default position. And this method should not only place tower, but it also should stop a movement coroutine if we have a coroutine that moves tower back to default position. It's supposed to stop the coroutine and then place it immediately on the default position. So let's go all the way above here and let's make a private coroutine. And we're going to name it as something like move to default coroutine. Then we can go to the move to default position method. And over here, we're going to do move to default coroutine equals to start coroutine of a tile anim move tile coroutine. Similar to what we did over here, right? This is what we need. Then we're going to make a public void. And let's name it as something like snap to default position immediately. Inside, we want to check if we have any coroutine at the moment. And if we do, we want to stop that coroutine. Then we want to take transform position and make it equals to default position. Simple as that. Now, let's go to the build button. Wrong script, build button. And then over here, we simply want to snap position of the tile. After we cancel build action, let's do slot to use, snap to default position immediately, just like that. Wait a second, I did a mistake here. We need to return from if statement. Okay, now I want to make it a little bit prettier by shaking the camera when you place in the tower. So let's get component of a camera effects. And then we want to get this in the awake, and I expect to have only one component of that type, so we can do find first object by type, and then over here we can do camera effect, screen shake, and we really need small values for this one. So let's do 0.15f and 0.02f, just like that. Gonna save it, and let's go ahead and see how does it work. And I want to make it as a full screen because I want to see how it works. Let's try to make a tower, and boom, a bit of a shake, tower is there, and tile snaps to default position. I like it. At the moment we can place multiple towers at one tile, and also they move while you move your mouse under the tower. It's going to be fixed later on, don't worry about that. As of now, let's just deduct currency when we make a tower. We're gonna go to Game Manager. Let's set currency to 500 by default. Then let's go inside of a script. And over here, we want to make a method that would check for us if we can spend money. And if we can, then we're gonna return true. We're gonna deduct currency, and we're gonna update UI. In the awake, let's do in-game UI, update currency UI with the currency. And then let's make a public bool method has enough currency. We're gonna do int price over here. Then if price is less than currency, it means we have enough money, and we can do currency equals to currency minus price, and then we can update UI. So in-game UI, update currency UI with the currency, and then we can return true. If that's not the case, we're gonna return false, just like that. Yeah, it's that simple actually. Now let's go to UI build button over here, and each tower should have a price. I think by default we can set value of 50, so we don't have to worry about it for now. Later on we can balance it easily. And then in the build tower method over here, we're gonna check if, oh, we need the game manager, I forgot. Let's do private game manager. Then over here, game manager equals to find first object by type. And then if game manager has enough currency for the price is equals to false, then return. Just like that. Let's save it. And now we're supposed to update currency. We have 500. I'm gonna build a tower, and I have 450. Okay, it works. Love it. Now in the next video we need to take care of the can build boolean. Basically we want to block the tile if it already has a tower on it, and also we need to block tiles that will be later turned into a new road. If you remember, we have dynamic change of the level, and at some point some tiles are removed and there is a road on that spot. If we place tower over here right now, then when this wave will be finished, the tower gonna stand in the middle of the road. That is wrong, so we need to take care of that as well, and all of that we can do in the next video. As of now, this is good. I'll see you in the next one.